out that I was like a musical genius, but I didn't know it. All I knew was that my father had beat all this music into me. And so when I was grown, I knew all this stuff.
Let me tell you something about this gift. There's not enough words to express how this man changed my life here at CSUB. When I came here, my whole thought was, okay, I need to do my best to get this job and to, secure my position and try to help people as much as I can, right? But he brought a different perspective for me in getting involved with people on campus. And just his whole vibe was different. And I loved it. Because I'm all about people being different.
Yeah.
I don't really like people who are super cookie cutter because I think,
They're boring.
Not that. It's just, I have a real problem with people who play follow the leader.
Yeah.
I don't like that game. Merritt is not one of those people who play follow the leader. His whole dress, how he lives his life. This guy was amazing to me. He amazes me. And not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people do that for me. So, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, well, thank you so much for the compliment. My name is Merritt Holloway, and I'm born and raised in Los Angeles. I came to Bakersfield in 2008, and I started my college career here. I was a transfer student from a whole bunch of schools, and I graduated last in June or May of just last year. So I'm
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
sir.
in music education, which is
That's right.
something.
We made it.
I wish I would have
All majors
did
matter.
something else, but
Yes,
yes,
they
yes.
do.
All majors matter.
And so I make my clothes. But actually, meeting Kelly, to be honest, she's really probably the coolest staff that's on this whole campus, and I had the fortunate honor
That's
of.
very kind of you.
I'm just being
Very kind of
honest.
you.
I'm being
Concur.
honest, and everybody that knows her knows that I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not saying nothing that's not true. In fact, to be honest, a lot of the other faculty they really need to take lessons from her. But
Yeah.
but that's another
I'm
story.
staff. Y'all can call me faculty.
Staff.
I mean,
Y'all gonna get me in
well,
trouble.
staff,
Staff.
faculty.
Wait,
I
lean
don't know
closer
the
to
difference.
Lean closer to the
But,
camera. Wait.
Staff,
But,
faculty, whatever you
I'm
want to
staff.
call it.
but
She
yeah,
is the
Hopefully
best
one day
person.
I can be faculty.
She is
Alright.
the best person employed by this university.
yeah, she
Oh
has, she
man,
has,
that's a compliment.
she has helped
that's
me.
too major.
She has helped me unbelievable. I
major.
mean, just unbelievable. But the one thing I do want to say is
Thank
that
you.
I was really inspired by listening to so many of the people here speak. Because sometimes, like, I feel like I'm kind of old because I know I'm a little old, and sometimes I feel out of
You
touch.
ain't as
But
old as
then,
you feel.
and I feel like I have something to offer, but then I'm too old. But that's another story. But when I hear young people and just people in general just talking about more like black excellence, which is what we need, we don't have it. Okay, because to be honest, like we cannot have black excellence under white supremacy. So that's something that we have to try to
Yeah,
try
fight
to
for it.
Yeah.
to fight
Fight
for it.
for it.
And also I like the idea of having black spaces. We need more. We
Definitely
need
more
more,
black
and then we need
spaces.
to we need to be a little more critical, I think, as far as thinking and be more a little serious about what we're doing and how we want to do it, and so anyway,
Yep.
so I got that out.
So why music?
Well, okay, music is my father beat it into me when I was growing up. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. I didn't know. Okay, but he beat it into me. He made me love it. And then after I was grown, I found out that I didn't know. But when I went to college, I went to Fullerton College, and I found out that I was like a musical genius, but I didn't know it. All I knew was that my father had beat all this music into me. And so when I was grown, I knew all this stuff. I had to go learn a lot of stuff, but I knew a lot because it was beat into me. And so then all the people that I would meet, I used to meet a bunch of white people. I was at Fullerton College, so white people. And so they would be like, "Wow, how can you
You
play
about
so
to go
good?"
in,
And
though.
like to be honest, I was kind of always one of the better players all the time. And it was only because of my upbringing. But then after that, I went and I studied because music was what I knew. So I studied it. But then, to be honest, I think it's useless, sort of. That's another story. But later, I learned how to sew. And then sewing was more what I like to do, because at the end of the day with music you can say, oh, that was a bad run that I made or something like that, but you don't have anything tangible. Where at least with sewing you have something tangible. Like at the end of the day I can say, yeah, I made this shirt, or I made these pants, or that kind of
I
stuff.
got
Then I
quite
can
a few bags.
look at it
From
and
Merritt.
stuff.
Oh yeah, no, he this man put in work.
Every time we come by, like,
Hard.
let me drop this knowledge on you real quick. Here's this bag I made.
Yeah,
This is one of the 10,000 bags I've made. And I'm just like, I
Yeah.
know that's right. This man has a lot to do with being self-sustained.
yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting. I mean, we know it, you hear about it, but somebody actually lives their life that way.
It's beautiful to see.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's just, and then he's very inspiring in terms of.
Right. He's very inspiring. And did I mention he's vegan? I think I
Oh my
mentioned that. Did I
God.
mention he's
Just
vegan?
Slide that in there.
I'm just
again.
saying, but there's a trend here. So,
Yeah, hey, I see it.
high IQs.
Yeah.
Mm.
But when I first met Garrett made me
You
feel.
ain't Garrett.
Merritt.
Merritt.
I'm sorry. Garrett's great. Both y'all is great.
Yeah,
Merritt,
right.
I am so
The
sorry,
J's and
Merritt.
the
Okay, no
M's.
problem, man.
The J's and the
These
M's
J's and the M's.
is changing the game.
Change the game.
Well, when the first time I met Merritt, it was.
When have J's and M's not?
Hey,
If you think about it.
we're not bringing up Michael Jordan. Right
No, I'm
now.
just-
We're not talking
If
about
we
that.
think about it. Anyway, but go ahead.
But when I met him, we was having a conversation. And then he put me on to a few people. He came to one of our BSU meetings last year, and he was just talking about some stuff, and I was like, everybody else was kind of uncomfortable because he got serious. And I was like, him being serious shouldn't make you feel uncomfortable if he has a point. If what he's saying is true, it doesn't matter in the manner he's saying. You can be loud and right. He was loud and right.
I'd rather be loud and right than loud and wrong.
The only time you can be loud and nobody
Don't
can
be
tell
loud.
you anything is when you right.
That's right.
He came in here and he was loud and right, and I was like,
right.
"Hey, do what you got to do, big fella. I'm
Do
not
what you
mad
gotta
at
do,
you."
big fella.
And then
That's right.
he gave me some information. Got me talking about people. Got me learning about people like Antonio Moore
Right.
and
Antonio
Yvette
Moore.
Cornell.
There
Yvette
you
Cornell.
go.
Some
There you
great
go.
people
Mm-hmm.
to be listening to and to keep up with stuff, because the news does not give you all the information that you need,
No,
especially
they
being
aren't.
black.
No.
But I left that for me, whenever I talk to Merritt about certain things, that leave me feeling like I got to do better.
Always.
He leaves you feeling like
Always.
I gotta do a lot better. And it's not that you're
Yes.
not doing anything; it's just always knowing there's always more.
There's always more. And this is a saying he always says to me. What is it? The pain of
The pain of this. Yeah, my father, he told me that
yes.
that there's two kind of pains in life: the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. And when I went to college, I had the pain of discipline because my father beat my butt and made me learn music. But I just say this real quick: all of the students that were music students that were with me, they would all tell me, when I was growing up, my parents, they made me do this, but I quit, and I wish they would have made me keep going. And so that's the pain of regret, where you have a chance to do something and you don't do it. But the pain of discipline is if you have a chance to do something that you do it. And just in closing, I'll just say I had the pain of discipline when I learned how to sew. The way I learned how to sew was similar to another story. I think it was Garrett who said that he did something with and it was messed up, and he opened it up. I bought
Yeah,
a shirt,
The console.
and it was made messed up.
See?
And I did all of this sewing on this shirt. I put these beads. I used to sew like everybody else with a needle and thread. I was one of them hand sewers. And so I spent 3 weeks putting these beads on this shirt because I wanted to be like Michael Jackson. I wanted to make all my little musical shirts.
Listen,
If I could be like Mike,
That's right.
But anyway, when I realized the shirt was made wrong, I won't say who I said who I thought made it, but I said I could do better. Okay, and then kind of like all my life, like I've been light-skinned. So when you're light-skinned black, you get chased by the white people hate you because your hair is nappy, but then the black people, they hate you because you light-skinned. So it's like sort of you don't have no friends. But the one thing
feel you.
what it taught me was that I always believed in myself. Even growing up, like my parents, they used to tell me I was stupid. I didn't know what I was talking about. But on the other hand, my father made me learn piano, so that had some kind of smart. So, and then plus all of my teachers when I was going to school, they really liked me because I could play the piano. The students, of course, they hated me, but forget all that. But the one thing, like I say, when I bought this shirt that was made messed up, I said I could do it better. I could make it better. and I had to go learn how to sew. And I went to LA Trade Tech. A lady taught me, and so I spent a lot of years learning how to sew. But all my life, I didn't listen to people. And so many times I hear black people all the time. They say, like, they get beat down by society, and like I've been probably beat down, but I think for me, instead of being beat down, I'm like, F y'all, I could do it better, And so I've always kind of had that attitude, and that's how I learned how to sew. I bought this shirt that was made messed up. I knew I could do better. And so it took me, like, I've been sewing over 30 years now.
Yeah.
And I've been making all of my clothes for, like, over 30 years. Mm-hmm. And I everything cost me $2 or $3. Although this shirt cost me about $20 because the fabric cost $25. But I made it in a couple of hours. But so that's my life. I've been kind of always fighting against stuff because I don't listen to people. I listen to people a little bit, but I listen a little bit more to myself because so many times it's only when I look in myself that I really find the real answer. Like when I'm following the other people, I'm not getting nowhere. When I'm following myself, I'm getting somewhere.
Yep.
You're right. Being self-led, again, you don't play follow leader. And that's one of the things I admire. I really appreciate about you because really quickly before you leave, because I know you got to go, when I was a kid, we were in the backyard because there's a lot of us. There's like 6 of us. Mm-hmm. And our parents wanted us to play together. And we're in the backyard, and we were playing follow leader. And we just thought it was a game. My mom brought us in the house and kicked our butts. Then she explained why. She said, my children aren't stupid. My children aren't just following, whatever someone says without asking. Shit, that's a game for stupid people. And so I don't play follow leader. And that's why we're doing this podcast. Again, we could have waited, right, forever to get, like, approval to do this, approval to do that. No. If we provide the stuff, all this stuff was sponsored by me.
Yeah.
Okay? There was no waiting. There's no, we got to fill out this application to get funding. No. All this was put on and sponsored by me to help the Black Student Union, to help Black students feel like they have a voice on campus. Because I'm Black. I'm a Black student also. And your voices are important. And it was important for me to get you on here because you definitely represent not just your mindset and not just the way you like walk through the world, but your whole personality. Everything about you represents, I'm not playing follow leader. And I love that.
Yeah.
All right, you gotta go, man.
Okay, well, no, I got one more thing that I wanted to say, and I think I lost my train of thought, but it had to do with you and not following. But darn, I lost it. But
oh man, I don't need any more confidence.
Okay, well, anyway, but look, all I could say is that thank you so much for having me, and I'm glad. Oh, I remember now. Okay, this is really important. Okay, this is really, really important. And the fact that Kelly, and not this, and I don't think she was saying that she did all this to say that she was doing all this, but this is what you have to do if you want to succeed.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, if you want to succeed, like I'll say it to you like this: you could know how to sew real good. You could be the baddest sewer in the world, but if you don't have all of your sewing machines or all of your equipment, like it don't mean nothing. Okay, like part of the reason how come that I could sew or whatever, I have all of my machines. I do welding too. I got all of my welding equipment. I don't have everything I need, but in order to do something, like I say it to you like this, part of that pain of discipline and the pain of regret, part of the pain of discipline, you take your little money, your student loan or whatever, it might not be that much, but that student loan is enough money where you can go buy you a sewing machine or you can go buy you some tools. Like, don't waste your money. Well, I don't want to say don't waste your money, but spend some of your money on getting the equipment that you need so that you can do the job you want to do. Like Kelly got all this. I want to talk to her about trying to do some video stuff.
Absolutely.
And with the music
Absolutely.
too. You know, and then plus try to get Garrett with some rapping and whoever else.
Absolutely.
But so
we can talk
but
about
yeah,
it.
that's
Absolutely.
important because
I'm here for all
as Black
students.
people, if we don't have our own equipment, just like I took welding in school so many times. In fact, I was over here in doing welding in the sculpture department and stuff. Okay, they got beautiful equipment over there. But when you at school, you in the schools and like you can only do what they allow you to do. But when you want to go beyond that, that's why you need to have your own equipment so that like so you can go beyond that and you can do what you want to do. And just in closing, I got this one little cutter, right? I paid $200 for this cutter where I could cut about that thick or something. I don't use that cutter that much. Okay, like I may use it just once a year or twice a year. It's not that, but you have to have it so that when you need it, it's there for you.
That's right.
Okay, and so
That's
that's
right.
the one thing. If you don't have your own equipment, you can't do nothing. You could talk.
You can talk
Okay.
about it. But you gotta be about it, right?
So,
All right, man. We're gonna let
all
you
right.
go.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
man.
All right.